we've been looking at issues of floods and basically getting citizens' voice really well registered when it comes to taking decisions to manage flood disaster risk. So it means that we want to use water as an important planning tool or opportunity for development, rather than seeing it as a development challenge. I think that it's possible to see it in terms of opportunities that it even presents to the private sector to get involved in our communities and to get the population to really adapt and subsequently build resilience. And especially with the additional burden of climate change, we expect the intensity and frequency of rainfall, in our case, in Accra, Ghana, to increase, and for that matter, there is a need to do some sort of a climate-smart integrated flood management. And that is comprehensive, involving social issues, population issues, poverty reduction, improving the livelihoods of the people to enable them to, over a long time, be able to respond appropriately to the impacts of floods. Well, it's issues of coordination and harmonization. It's very clear that we have problems with that. We need to have clear boundaries as to who mobilizes, who coordinates, and who communicates the issues on the ground. And I think it's just not only the problems of gaps, but also the command line. People don't have the capacity to be able to identify those boundaries, to be able to do issues of coordination and communication effectively. And these are the major gaps. I tell you, if you have some of these things in place, financing shouldn't be a problem. Multi-level governance is very critical, I'll say a basic requirement for resilience building, because there are institutions that operate only in the communities. In actual fact, even you get to the community level, some people operate at the household level and individuals, very, very important, to maybe the city level, taking it to the national and even regional. And because different institutions have different mandates and roles and also expertise, then it means that we need series or diversity of institutions to get involved in building resilience. And what do I mean by diversity? People need to develop their capacity to be able to work across the spectrum. So we need to be able to tease out where the issues of overlaps, duplication, or replication are. Otherwise, we rather will increase vulnerability than resilience. And again, it comes about as a result of identifying the clear boundaries within the multi-level governance. Otherwise, it becomes noisy and chaotic to manage. I want the world to see some of these challenges that confront us. In my case, that I manage an IDRC-funded project, which is about managing the socio-demographic change and climate-induced flood risks in the greater Accra metropolitan area, to see floods as an opportunity to do city planning, city management, poverty reduction, social protection, and basically a special entering into issues of housing, transportation, and so forth. Less water or more water is all about issues of climate change. And if we use that as an entry point, which we are currently doing under the project, together with IDRC Canada, which is providing the funding, then we should be able to have a comprehensive framework that tends to minimize the disturbance across sectors and boundaries that we have identified. So let us see issues of disaster risk, especially when it comes to flooding, as opportunity rather than a challenge or a problem to spatial planning and development of our cities.